What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of ShotaCooks. This is the channel where I get interviewed by my friend Carrot. Some people call her ChatGPT. We call her Carrot here at this channel. And we cover different topics each time. Today, we're going to be covering the topic of... Shoot, what was the topic we were going to be covering today? Carrot, can you help me out here? I totally forgot.
Of course, today we're diving into the behind the scenes of planning and running a pop-up and all the little details that go into making it a success. You've got this.
There we go. Yes, I do. Yes, I got this. And as I get interviewed, I always like to cook. It's just me in my kitchen hanging out. I'm doing some meal prep for myself. I have some carrots, zucchini. I have some old celery that I'm just going to use up. I have some chicken breast. One thing that I've been doing, I have some leftover rice too. One thing that I've been doing recently is I cook a lot of things, so it's actually dog friendly. And then I add sodium to it when I eat it, just kind of like my meal throughout the day. Anyways, with that said, Carrot, take it away.
I love that approach. It's such a great way to keep things healthy for both you and your pup. And it's always nice to have some meal prep ready to go. So let's dive into our topic and get started on this behind the scenes journey of pop-up planning.
Yeah. Also, dogs can eat celery, right?
Yes, absolutely. Celery is generally safe for dogs in moderation, and it's a nice little crunchy treat for them. Plus, it's low in calories, so it's a win-win.
Perfect. Sweet. All right, let's go on the questions.
All right, let's do it. So to start off, when you're planning a pop-up, what's the very first thing that you focus on? Are you thinking about the menu first, or do you start with the location?
I think concept, right? What kind of pop-up am I doing? Am I doing a fine dining pop-up? Am I doing a small pop-up? Am I doing like a tiny little pop-up, 10-course meal for 20 people? Or am I doing a 7-course meal for 300 people with 6 chefs that I invited? I think it really depends on kind of which direction you want to go in.
That makes a lot of sense. The concept definitely sets the tone for everything else, and it probably influences all the other decisions, from the size of the venue to the complexity of the menu. It's definitely a key starting point.
Yes, I agree. What's another good question you got for me regarding events?
Let's see. Another good one might be about how you go about building your team for an event. Do you usually reach out to chefs and staff you've worked with before, or do you bring in new people depending on the concept of the pop-up?
It depends. I always do inviting new people because it's always a great opportunity to meet people. And I always feel like it's a good thing to have some fresh air on your team, especially on these events. But in general, I do like to have kind of my core team of people who do the same responsibilities, so it's easy. But, outside of me, it depends, right? If I'm traveling and I'm working and I need some help, I'm going to hire kind of an operation person for the kitchen side. That person, all right, now I'm just going to set an example. Let's say I'm doing a dinner with Byron Gomez, right? And he's coming to Seattle. We're going to do a 10-course meal for 6-7 people. We're going to do a 10-course meal for 100 people. Now, they're busy, so I'm going to have my guy coordinate, kind of communicate with them what kind of menu they want to do, if they want to bring the prep, if we want to do the prep in our side, on our side. All the chefs have different, preferences and what kind of soy sauce they want to use, fish sauce they want to use. So making sure there's someone who can actually help coordinate that, because if I'm stuck doing every single one of those pieces, I'm not going to be able to have time for the big picture. So I always like to have someone strong in that position. And I always like to say kind of a general manager position, more front of the house, where this person is responsible for ticket sales, coordinating with our PR. PR is another position we'll talk about. But coordinating with our PR, making sure if we're going to do promotion, making sure she's the person or he's the person who's coordinating with our camera crew, our people to make sure everyone's showing up on time. On top of it, when we send letters, we like to make sure, okay, if we're going to do an event in downtown Seattle, on one of our lists, we have like this whole master list of things that need to get checked. And this is just created throughout the years. But one of it is, make sure we check what the calendar schedules like that day when the event happens. Well, not the day of, a few days beforehand. If there's a game going on downtown and our event space is close by, we like to make sure we look that up. We shoot an email the night beforehand being like, hey guys, there's a baseball game going on, actually similar time. It may be a little bit more traffic than usual, as well as parking may be packed. Here are some recommended parking spots around the area. And I think just little touches like that help keep it sorted, as well as being in the hospitality industry. People appreciate those little things that we genuinely care, because we do care. It sucks to feel like if you have a 5 o'clock dinner and you're coming from somewhere half an hour away, you forgot that there's a baseball game going on, or you're just not even thinking about it, and now you're 30 minutes late to the dinner. You just feel bad, right? So many different positions. And then you have your cooks, you have your front of the house, you have your host, who's the first person people interact with when they're checking people off. I mean, a lot of times I have my manager kind of in that position, because I'm a big believer your first impression is everything in restaurants and the service industry.
Absolutely. Those details really make a difference, and it shows how much you care about the overall experience. It's so interesting to see how every role plays a part in making the event run smoothly and ensuring that guests have a great time. It's definitely a team effort.
I agree. What's another good question? I'm liking these questions. These are good conversations.
I'm glad you're enjoying them. Okay, so another question could be about the menu development process itself. How do you go about creating a menu that fits the concept of the pop-up, and what inspires the dishes that you choose to include?
Honestly, again, it really depends on the concept, right? I'm a big person that likes to lean into what's in season wherever I'm cooking. Like if I'm doing a pop-up in LA, I'm gonna look up what produce is good. I'm gonna talk to my chef friends about which farmers are gonna have or which farms are gonna have good product, good produce that I want to use, and what's one of their favorite ingredients. Because that way, I can build my menu off of that. That's one of the biggest things, because I'm just a believer. You just can't beat good ingredients, and wherever I'm at, I want to use the best ingredient I can get in that place.
That's such a great philosophy. It really ensures that each pop-up has its own unique flavor and character, and it's a wonderful way to support local farmers and producers. Plus, it keeps things exciting and fresh for you as a chef, which is always a bonus.
We chef. What's next? What's another good question you got for me?
All right. Let's see. Another interesting angle could be about the challenges that come up during a pop-up event. What are some of the most common hurdles you face, and how do you handle them to keep everything running smoothly?
I've done a lot, but I think kind of looking at my earlier days, I would say time management is something that I started to get really anal on. I write every single time down, from where we should be on our prep list, what time, what course should be hitting the table, kind of a guideline, right, of the whole entire evening, and it's timed out, because that way you know where you're at. If you're falling behind, you know that you're falling behind. The team understands, compared to if you try to manage it, right? You're trying to manage a team of 20, and you're like, we're going to do 10 courses, we're going to serve 100 people, it's going to be beautiful, it's going to be delicious. If it's not coordinated well, and let's say you start falling behind, now it's turning into a 5-hour dinner, right? I know some people who have done longer dinners, and I'm just like, dog, that's not cool. You just took a lot of people's time. Anyways, but with that said, I think that's such an important thing because being in hospitality, it's really about the guests, right? I always say there's two types of chefs. It's the ones that care about themselves more than the guests, and the ones who care about the guests more than themselves.
That's such a valuable perspective, and having that level of organization really shows how much you respect your guests' time and experience. It's definitely a fine balance to keep everything running smoothly and making sure that everyone leaves happy at the end of the night.
I agree. What's next, friend? What's another good question?
Let's dive into something fun. When you look back on all the pop-ups you've done, is there a particular moment or a dish that stands out as a favorite memory or something that you're especially proud of?
You know, honestly, I love all of my pop-ups.
That's always a tough one because I'm sure you have so many amazing memories, but
It is. You know, I love all of them. Every single one is different, and there's like a Japanese
I love
thing
that.
called
Each one definitely brings its own unique charm and set of experiences.
Madam, I'm still talking. Can I please finish my thought process? Oh, you really stopped. Okay. So I guess my thought process. Well, every event's different, right? And there's a Japanese saying called "ichigo ichie," one time, one meat.
Oh, my apologies. Please go ahead and finish your thought. I'd love to hear the rest of what you were going to say.
Sassy today. So "ichigo ichie," it's a Japanese phrase. It means one time, one meat, and that it's different every single time, right? Me and Derek can go eat a meal at.
That's such a beautiful
Takoyaki.
saying, and it perfectly
No, why are you
captures the
cutting
essence
me off
of
today?
each
Can you hear
unique
me?
event and moment. It's really
I feel like you're cutting me off on purpose at this point. It's not nice, yo. Okay, so now I'm gonna try to explain. Ichigo ichie, it means one time, one meat. Me and Derek can be going to the
I
same
can hear you
restaurant.
perfectly fine, and I'm so sorry.
Yeah, me and Derek can go to the same restaurant, but it's going to be different every single time. And that's kind of how I feel about pop-ups.
I'm really sorry if it felt that way. I definitely didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm here to listen and support you, so please continue whenever you're ready.
You know what? I'm gonna let you ask the next question, just because it sounds better.
That's such a lovely comment.
Are you glitching on me? Are you doing okay? You're cutting off a little bit, my friend.
Absolutely. That uniqueness really makes each pop-up special and
Memorable in its own way.
it really does. And it's wonderful that you bring that mindset to each event, making every experience unique and meaningful.
Thanks, Carrot. You know, I think Carrot's having
Thanks,
a little
I
bit of
appreciate
a.
that.
Okay.
All right,
okay.
so let's switch gears a bit and talk about the future.
I'm just gonna turn you a little bit lower today. It's okay. You're wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Anyways, Carrot's having a little bit of a hard time. So we're going to cut this episode short. I do like this topic, so I'll come back to it. But again, if there's any topics you want me to comment, or if there's any topics you want me to cover, please leave a comment below. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It helps my channel. And until next time, friends.
Clearly so you can hear me. I'm really excited to